This is not Bow 5 yet, right? We're waiting
No,
until
this is not best of
finals.
5. The best of 5s are going to be winners finals, losers finals, and grand final.
All right, that's
for the
what I thought.
weeklies.
LDC just looking for confirmation.
There will be more best of 5s when we have the cash prize tournaments for the invitationals, which we'll talk a little bit more about at the end of today's event. But here we go. First match of winner semis between VexX Crockie and Boost Twilight.
And it looks like Crockie's picking up 8 again, and Twilight again with Koji, opening up with a fantastic unarmed combo, putting Crockie into deep orange. What?
That's not something that you want to have happen to you as Ada, especially with how low your defense is. Twilight just immediately going in with the unarmed.
With a down with the side air already in red, Crockie must be feeling pressured right now.
Yeah, because he's already at kill percent. Twilight only has to land one D-Light side air to be able to finish this, but let's not be too on edge. Crockie is Ada, and we find Twilight in kill percent as well. Ada with such a high strength stat is going to be able to rack up the damage very quickly with any weapon that she has in her arsenal. So despite that,
spear up in the air and catching it, trying to pull off that downlight, doesn't quite hit it. Trying to get back on the stage, Twilight hits him with a side air. Crockie's not going to be able to recover using all of his jumps, only having a dodge left after that trade. Wow. That was a very, very quick first stop.
Yes, indeed. Oh, but at least Crockie was able to do a decent amount of damage on the way back after that devastating opening. Crockie goes in with the guns. I really don't feel like he likes these weapons right now, at least on Ada. Wants to toss it aside, maybe find the spear, but there's the ground pound, sends Koji upwards, tosses the guns aside, gets the spear, goes for a sidelight, and doesn't connect.
Canceling the ground pound soon enough, and jumping back in the air, Crockie's able to get another ground pound off to knock Twilight off the side of the map. Really only usable when someone's right below you. The very easily punishable ground pound. We saw last match Oob getting punished by the same move.
Twilight hitting him with an unarmed side air. Crockie holding onto the spear, dancing back and forth, looking for those neutral lights, but Twilight wants no. Goes for that neutral light, or neutral air himself, gets some damage on his Twilight. Both players find themselves now at even percent.
Twilight chasing with a bunch of side airs and downlights. Trying to get some damage on a Crockie. Not quite finding it. Crockie has Twilight into red before Crockie's even touching orange, but as I say that, Twilight gets Crockie into deep orange.
Yeah, Twilight holding on to the sword, goes for a neutral light, but Crockie ends up punishing that with a neutral air of his own, but a D-Light side air sends Crockie off the stage and into the red, into kill percent. Both players find themselves in similar states as they were in the last stock, but Crockie take the stock first this time instead of Twilight.
Crockie dodging into Twilight's neutral light. Doesn't take any damage, but that's definitely a risky play. Trying to throw the horn into Twilight, unable to hit. Trying to take control of the center of the map, trying to give it away, but with the recovery, boom.
Crockie takes him off the top, taking the lead 2-1 over Twilight's Koji. But Koji got a lot of tools in his arsenal to be able to end the stock. Goes to the spike ball, but Crockie makes a very clutch dodge to be able to avoid taking that damage, but going in with the bow with a down air, goes for another down air as well. And a recovery that sends him into the side of the stage and sends him flying to the left. Twilight goes for that side air, doesn't get it, but a neutral light. Twilight's just chasing Crockie around the stage. He doesn't want to let him land. Doesn't want to let him get a weapon.
Hitting the very tail end of that side light. Crockie's in a bad spot now. Even with a simple weapon throw or a side light like that. Boom.
Wow. Twilight did not take damage that stock. It was almost as if he turned on a button and said, alright, gotta make sure that we clean the stock up so it looks a little bit close before I end up taking this game. Let's see if Crockie can prevent him from doing that, however. Holds onto the spear, lands with the neutral light into the side air, into a side. Wow. Just racks up the damage on the Twilight there, puts him into the yellow. Twilight goes for a very unsafe ground pound, and Crockie's trying to punish with these neutral lights that are not connecting, however.
But the downlight from Crockie, catching Twilight over the edge. Doesn't quite combo after it, but definitely takes up damage. Again, chasing towards the edge, using that new mechanic, the new chase dodge. Crockie and Twilight are trading a lot of damage, and they're still fairly close.
Yeah, but Crockie's actually managing to take the lead. We have to consider that because it is Ada, that's all it takes. A neutral light and decider to be able to rack up that damage and make it almost even. Crockie's still completely refusing to use signatures on the spear, something that surprises me desperately. I have not seen a single signature from Crockie.
He is very wary, but Ada's signatures are easily punishable, especially her neutral sig, which takes so long to activate and misses off the ground and is looked out for often because its kill ability is definitely there.
Yeah, but it was so commonly used. I guess people are ready for it. Both players find themselves in the red. Twilight just decided to deny weapons from Crockie. Throws his spear or his sword aside, picks up another sword.
Well, speaking of signatures, I don't think I've seen Twilight use a single signature with his sword thus far.
Yeah, that is true.
Crockie picking up the guns and throwing 2 trip mines. You've got to be careful being in between a trip mine and Twilight. That is a dangerous position to be in.
Crockie holding on to the guns and actually doing a decent job of keeping Twilight boxed up. Both players are just afraid to end each other's stocks right now.
And I think that's done it. Twilight puts Crockie over the side of the map with a side air on the very corner.
And despite a very tense standoff between both players, it's ended by a simple move. A sword side air sends Crockie off the side of the map, and game 1 goes to Twilight.
That last stock, it seemed like they were dancing. It was just like a sword fight.
I mean, Crockie found himself unarmed for quite a long time, but even then Twilight was pretty scared of being able to go for a trade there.
Well, it's intimidating to be in. It's an intimidating position to be in because a single hit will put you off the side of the map. Whether it's a side light or a recovery or a ground pound even will bounce you off the map and off the top.
3, 2, 1, brawl.
Here we go, game 2 on the Twilight. A little bit more room for some shenanigans to happen. That island always causing some interesting interactions with the back.
Especially with the sword and the spear being 2 weapons that can combo up into the air, bouncing off that island.
Yeah, Crockie finding the first weapon, picks up the spear. Twilight has the sword. Both players just boxing each other over the sides right now, and both things are connecting.
Seems like Crockie's definitely heavily dependent on hitting those downlights. Although it is, a maneuver to space a little bit and try to avoid with an unconventional movement, it's not hitting as often as it should.
Absolutely. Crockie finding the spear after he calls in the horn. Both players, unlike the last game, aren't finding a lot of moves that connect to each other. But there's Crockie with finally a combo, gets that D-light into side air, sends Twilight into orange, and lands with a neutral air to be able to put on even more damage.
Twilight finding that down light to side air combo puts Crockie into shallow orange health. They're not quite at kill percentage, but with the combo ability of the sword and the spear, they're both very close to being knocked off the map. And again, they're playing very passively, using attacks that take up a lot of area and then dodging away.
Twilight is doing such a great job of dodging out of Crockie's approaches. The spear neutral air I feel like is so incredibly safe because it reads a lot of aggressive maneuvers. Kills him off the top of the recovery there. But he was able to avoid getting hit by those time and time again, but not get a punishment. And as we can see, Crockie still manages to hold on to the lead in this game.
Right, hang on to his spear surprisingly long. I thought he would guard that weapon a little bit more, but Twilight's able to pick up that bow. Crockie keeps his spear and unable to hit the stun on the throw. Is trying to do as much damage as possible before Twilight's able to get him off the side of the map.
Ooh, Crockie hitting him with that neutral light with the spear. Still holding on this weapon. Goes for the gravy cancel neutral light to be able to punish a jump possibly. But there's a neutral air once again. Just using these neutrals to really just slowly rack up damage on Twilight and keep his lead.
I would be interested to see if Crockie does eventually bring out some signatures to surprise Twilight. But again, no signatures have been seen from either player except for a couple side sigs from Crockie. And Twilight's able to put Crockie off the side of the map after being knocked into shallow orange health.
Crockie holding out of the bomb, tosses directly to Twilight, who, despite having a somewhat even matchup right now, is finding himself in the orange, nearly into the red. As another bomb going to connect.
Doesn't quite hang on to it long enough to hit. Twilight knocks it out of his hands. Crockie picking up those blasters, goes for a side air and hits Twilight. The blasters are what really scares me on Ada, but Crockie's not been touching them, preferring the spear this entire time.
No, but he doesn't seem to... Wow.
A sig?
I feel like... You know what? Yeah, it was a signature, but I almost feel like Crockie did that to move. Oh, no, there's another side sig as well. He definitely does like the signatures of his guns. Doesn't like the guns in general, though. Tosses them aside, finds the spear, and we're back to the matchup that we're used to.
Right, more light attacks from the spear and the sword coming from Crockie and Twilight. Crockie, again, going for those downlights, not connecting. Twilight's been able to dodge a lot of attacks that could have put him off the map and rack up some damage on Crockie. They're neck and neck almost with deep orange and red health.
Goes
Twilight
for unsafe.
punishing that downlight.
Yeah, goes for unsafe D-light that gets hit by a side air. Twilight, however, in the deep red. Ooh, goes for that speed dodge into a down air. Doesn't connect, or downlight doesn't connect. But that side air would have ended the stock if that connected.
Twilight chasing away with the dodge, avoiding that recovery from Crockie. They're dancing around each other because they know that a simple combo will put them off, and Twilight catching Crockie over the edge with the side air puts him off the map.
Yep, and ends up taking the lead from a match that he originally was losing with a recovery.
Immediately! Crockie able to put Twilight off the top of the map with a recovery.
Gosh, Crockie wanted nothing to do with that stock, saying, listen, let's even this up, make it 1-1. This is possibly Crockie's last stock for winner's bracket. But let's see if he can pull it out and bring it to game 3. Twilight.
Both of them with a weapon throw. No follow-up, though. And Dog Rage might happen soon. She might be triggered.
Side lights into neutral lights, or neutral areas to be able to deal more damage to Twilight. Twilight greeds for a weapon there. Crockie punishes with a neutral light and another neutral light, just doing his best to get as little damage as he can onto Twilight before trying to execute him, with most likely a save.
Well, Crockie, sitting with no damage on, has Twilight in the deep orange. I know Ada can quickly be racked up into orange or red, but Crockie's playing extremely safe right now with side airs and neutral lights to space out Twilight, and the neutral air as well. Oh,
wow.
And the island, saving Twilight, and Crockie with the first downward sig we've seen
The first
all day.
spear signature of the game that we've seen from him. No, this is the first spear signature that we've seen from Crockie. Ends up connecting, landing, and sends Twilight off the side of the stage. We're moving on to game 3 in this winner's semis match.
Wow. That was a crazy last stock. Crockie taking almost no damage apart from that weapon throw that they traded at the very beginning. And yes, Bleach Shadow, you did hear Piper. All right, jumping right back into it. I didn't see the bands. Are they going back to Twilight?
Not sure. Mammoth Fortress.
All right.
3, 2, 1, brawl!
Spawning in Crockie and Twilight. We'll see who gets the weapon advantage or who starts off with a better unarmed combo. Twilight tying Crockie up, missing the gravity cancel down light. Doesn't quite get as much damage as you would like to, but both players have taken a decent amount, are now equipped with their preferred weapons.
The bow that was casually thrown by Twilight lands on Crockie's head, doing a little bit of damage. Believe it or not, we have barely seen Twilight use any of his bow here on Koji, opting almost entirely for the sword.
Right, and similarly on Crockie, we barely seen him use the guns except for one occasion where he got a side sig off to knock out. But it is very bizarre to see players prefer one weapon, and on top of that, only use light attacks.
Crockie going for the recovery, I think, just to get back on stage, but ends up connecting with Twilight. Twilight holding onto the bow, goes for a down air, doesn't connect, but hits the side air as well. Tosses the bow, doesn't hit. Now he's got the sword. Will we see? I'm honestly expecting a side air finish from both of these players.
As you called it, the side air does connect on the Twilight from Crockie. Not quite enough to come off the side of the map, though.
And there's another side air from Twilight, only that one ends up ending the stock, and Twilight takes the lead in game 3.
Twilight clearing the map of all the weapons as soon as Crockie spawns in, has his sword, throwing away the bow. Crockie immediately picking up a spear. Let's see how much damage Twilight can do on Crockie before Crockie gets his downlight side air combo off.
Crockie maintaining his composure, holding on that spear, trying to get some kind of attack in. I feel like he's going to go for a neutral light that's going to connect into something, but he gets an orange and another side light. Crockie's out of jumps. This is the stop.
Wow. That's it.
That's the stock. That's what you get for jumping back into something. I feel like Crockie really lost his patience there. You should not jump back into the enemy when he has the ability to space you out with the side air, especially with the sword. Losing that stock almost immediately, and Twilight's got himself a 3-1 lead.
That is absolutely outstanding. And I don't know if that's Crockie being impatient or if it's just him being frustrated, not being able to knock off Twilight before getting into deep orange health.
Yeah, either way, Twilight's got a solid lead in this game, and the way that Crockie plays, being so slow, so methodical, and not taking any risks, I really don't see him being able to take this match. There's the ground
Crockie
pound.
with the recovery does put Twilight off the top before getting too deep into yellow.
And then the slow inching on the center of Mammoth Fortress's platform. Holds onto the spear, hits him with the neutral light. Crockie has the ability to take the stock very quickly, considering Ada's strength and the amount of damage spears and neutral lights and neutralers do.
Right, it's very important for a player to keep the middle of the map, and it seems like Crockie was trying to do that there, but Twilight was able to bust in and take that over. But Crockie, can he get the Gimp off the top of the map with the neutral light to recovery Gimp?
Picks up the guns and makes me eat my words completely. What was looking like a solid match for Twilight is suddenly even. This damage on Crockie is negligible considering what just happened on that stock.
That was absolutely ridiculous. Going from yellow to knocked out, Twilight must be kicking himself.
Oh.
I'm not sure if he had the dodge, but it really would have been important for him to dodge out of that.
Yeah, a little bit. Crockie finds onto the spear, hits the down air into the side air. Another down air into the side air. Twilight has completely lost it.
And the recovery!
Twilight is in a position to lose this match right now. Crockie holds on to the spear. Both players are finding themselves in the red. Twilight goes with a 2-stock lead into a neck-and-neck match. Oh gosh, Crockie, no! Miss Space's recovery! Gets hit by a side air, and then the weapon toss ends it. What an excellent comeback from Crockie, however.
Wow.